Comic-Con is almost upon us, and Warner Brothers is looking like it's going to have one of the biggest panels of the convention. I'm Terry Schwartz, and I'm here with Jim Vejvoda, and we're going to dive into what we're expecting from Warner Brothers this year. Now, obviously, DC is the big tentpole that we're expecting the biggest news out of, but that's not all they're bringing. So what is the biggest news that you expect is going to come out of Warner Brothers this year?
Well, I think possible further announcements or adjustments maybe to their DC movie slate. I think for our particular news, that would be a big thing. Also, though, they're going to have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, their continuation of the Harry Potter franchise, a prequel. Maybe some additional information on further films in that franchise. They're also going to have Kong Skull Island, so possibly some information on the highly anticipated, long-awaited King Kong Godzilla team-up movie. And maybe some additional stuff on the Godzilla sequel. I think all of those are all on the table.
Yeah, it's interesting because, we're sort of expecting, we know Suicide Squad is going to be there, we know Wonder Woman is going to be there, so those will probably be the biggest hits of the panel. But in addition to what you're saying, there's also the new King Arthur movie, yes. Legend of the Sword, and, for all that Kong Skull Island is highly anticipated, I feel like it hasn't really built up that much buzz. So what do you think is going to be sort of the panel underdog that surprises us and does steal the show in addition to all the DC properties?
I think Kong. Skull Island, I think that's got, look, it's Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, Corey Hawkins, Jason Mitchell. I mean, it's got a great cast, and I think that footage, I was there a couple of years ago when they announced Kong Skull Island, and that was the surprise that kind of showed up everyone else at that panel. So I think this year, if we get any real big surprise, I think it'll probably come from the Kong panel.
Kong and Godzilla are going to show up there.
Oh yeah, exactly. Walk right in like the two of us, two giants.
Now, Warner Brothers has a pretty stacked panel as it is, but are there any, pie in the sky dream announcements or reveals or anything that you're hoping happens during the panel?
Well, look, we could find out more on the Lego movie sequels. I know the release date on one of those was pushed. They will have the Lego Batman movie there, the one with Will Arnett, the kind of spin-off sequel to the Lego movie. But I think, look, the one thing that everyone at Comic-Con, a comic book driven event, would love to see is the Justice League themselves come out on stage. Justice League was not on the officially announced Warner Brothers presentation announcement. So seeing the Justice League take the stage the way the Avengers did or the way the X-Men did in years past, that would be rad. Everyone would love that.
I would love that, but I will tell you, as a Harry Potter fangirl, I would love to see J.K. Rowling come for Fantastic Beasts. She wrote the movie. They've already started talking about the sequels. We know it's supposed to be this franchise. Obviously, Eddie Redmayne would be amazing to see in Ezra Miller, and the cast is great, but it is in the Harry Potter universe at its heart, and to have J.K. Rowling there, well, that gives me a chance to meet her, and that's really,
and this would be this is the biggest presence Harry Potter will have ever had at Comic-Con. So who knows? Maybe she will show up.
Yes, she should deign us with her presence. Now, last question, and maybe the most important one. We know Suicide Squad is going to be there. On a scale from 1 to weirdest, how weird is Jared Leto going to be on this panel?
He's going to be throwing dead rats out to the audience, or he'll just walk through the crowd in Hall H carrying that dead pig. Who knows? He's going to do something strange.
He's going to do something very strange, and I sort of hope that he walks out as the Joker, because we've heard so much talk about just how method he went with this role. This is going to be really our first chance to see the Joker and see sort of what he brought to the Joker, and I hope
you'll hear his laughter off stage.
Oh, that would be amazing. All right, so we're really excited about what Warner Brothers is bringing this year. For all things Comic-Con, make sure to keep it here on IGN. We're going to do all the Comic-Con coverage that you need.